What's up, guys? We're here for the third installment of the weekly Wednesday How to Be a Scumbag gathering with my buddy John, also known as JP.
Yep, not known as Farai.
Nope.
Just want to drill that point home.
And yeah, the artist formerly known as Farai.
Exactly. That is like borderline. I'll accept it.
Yeah.
We're going to try to phase that out too.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's new with you, man? What's been going on? There's a lot going on in the world.
Yeah, there is. Probably the biggest story right now is Cube is open.
Wow.
Yeah, it might not be the biggest story to you watching, but it's a big story to me. I went for the first time last night because Wednesday is free play, and I was pretty surprised, dude. There was lots of people there. They have little plastic barriers between the cabinets right now, and I guarantee those barriers don't do shit because I'm sure viruses know how to go around plastic.
Yeah.
But I guess it gives, it's a placebo effect.
I saw those little plastic barriers. Like, what the hell is that gonna do?
It's fucking retarded, dude. They're not even that big.
Yeah, they're like this long.
Yeah. It's super easy for just to reach around and touch the person. So if my arm can get around, air can get around.
I would think so.
Yeah, there must have been 8 or 9, maybe even 10 people there. I think it was me, Dusty. I was surprised Dusty came out. He's been particularly cautious during this virus scare. Aaron, Face, Anago Urian, Araki was there. Roshi Ikari showed up.
All the boys.
T-Raw was there. Yeah, man, it was a good crowd. So kind of almost felt like the good old days. I mean, obviously can't smoke there anymore forever. So.
Oh, well, here's our first follow. You hear that? Yeah, we have a follow Twitch alerts. Hold on, we gotta set this to the phone. There we go. Check it out.
Damn, that is tight.
Yeah, do you have Twitch loaded up on your computer or something so you can see?
I do.
Yeah. It's gonna be better if because you can see what everything's going. But yeah, thank you, Vic, for following. Spent a lot of time making these Twitch alerts thing, and you demonstrated it perfectly for me at just the right time. So.
Yeah, that was really good timing.
I might need to tweak the audio a little bit. Those are a little bit loud, like the Stone Cold. But yeah, super cool, Vic. Thank you, bro.
That was a bit loud. Well, I guess to wrap up the bit about Cube is we also streamed for the first time in God knows how long. And there was a lot of people tuning in, so we really appreciate that. And so just a reminder, it's not a very consistent schedule, but usually Araki streams 2 to 3 times a week at least. So be sure to have that on your radar in the Third Strike Junkies group. It's a cool stream to watch, I think.
Yeah, I heard there was 100 people watching. Is that true?
What the fuck? I don't know. I didn't check the viewer count. That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's just a rumor. A wild rumor flying around.
There's always lots of rumors, man.
Yeah.
What's new with you?
Yeah, not much, dude. Same thing. Playing online a little bit. Fito, me, Yuki, Juan, Bessels, Sherwin. We have a nice little lobby going last night. It's all right. Got a little. There's the curfew around me. Not where I live, but 5 miles away. So I don't really want to mess around and go out either. So kind of just chilling. Although I am going to be. There's some interesting news. Is next week's episode will be on location.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, we're gonna take this show on the road.
Fuck yeah. Sounds good to me, man.
It's our very first on location weekly show. I mean, it's only gonna be the 4th one, but we're gonna get going, dude. We got to get going on the around the country. And the first stop on the tour is gonna be Las Vegas.
Oh fuck yeah! Viva Las Vegas.
Viva Las Vegas. So next week, be sure to tune in. We're gonna have our first on the road episode. Might have a couple cool new visual aids to look at.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe we can get Nate Dogg on as a guest.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't want to make any promises, but I know it would break a lot of hearts if I promised Nate Dogg and didn't deliver that. So
Yeah, we all love Nate Dogg. So
yeah.
we'll see. We'll see.
So yeah, that's about it. Just preparing for gonna leave on Sunday, I think. So preparing for that trip. It'll be fun.
Fucking A, man. Well, bon voyage.
Yeah, thank you. How was the? Did you wear a mask at Cube or what?
Fuck no, dude. I never wear a mask.
Are you the only one in there that wasn't wearing a mask?
Well, when I first walked in, there was a guy at one of the Mahjong games, and he didn't have a mask on. I didn't see him again for the rest of the night, so maybe he got his ass kicked out. But nobody ever said anything to me, and I was there for a good 2 hours, no mask. They have a sign that has a picture of a mask, and there's some, gobbledygook there that I can't understand. Maybe it says they want you to do it. Maybe they're saying that you have to do it. But well, I know our policy is generally to not spend too much time replying to the comment section, but I think this thing I'll cover briefly, and it's something that is kind of like Japanese culture. Is here a lot of shit is enforced not with like laws and rules. It's just kind of like you get shamed into doing things. So probably a lot of people give me the stink eye, but I don't really care, so I don't wear the mask.
I see.
Yeah.
Keeping it real.
So I'm sure they do care, but they don't force you to do it. Although I got work tomorrow and I'm going to have to wear it at work, so it's a rule there.
Yeah. Oh, well.
I just hate the masks.
Oh, it's really uncomfortable. I've a lot of people, like I've seen on my Facebook and stuff, like my cousins or family members are like, dude, wearing the mask sucks. It's so hot in there and it's gross. And I'm like, this is exactly what I experienced when I moved to Japan 6 years ago and I had to wear a mask like sometimes. It's so gross. I hate it.
Yeah, it's nasty, dude. I don't think it really helps that much with fucking, spreading sickness and shit. I wouldn't. You're a doctor, but I'm not a doctor.
It helps with you not touching your face, but basically, like, stuff can still go through it. It's a piece of paper. I mean, you can't block germs with paper.
The battle's already lost, dude. We're smokers. We're going to be touching our faces. So, what am I going to do? Quit smoking? Nah, I don't think so. And that helps against corona, according to some French study.
Hey, I'll take it.
Yeah, exactly. I know
sold.
The French love their cigarettes, so they're probably just, that's wishful thinking. But I want to wishful think too.
Yeah, I mean, if I read it on the internet, then the placebo effect's got to help at least 1%. So, I mean, I'll take it.
Fucking A.
But yeah, so one thing I was going to mention before we got going into story time was also about the big tournament they had last weekend. Did you hear about that?
No. I the first time I heard it was when we were preparing for this show. So please elaborate. I'd like to know.
Yeah, I guess so. Apparently, there was like a really, really big 3v3 tournament on Fightcade. Like, I don't play on Fightcade.
Oh, actually, you know what? Now I remember this being advertised. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't play on Fightcade ever, so I don't even like have it installed or anything. But I heard about it, but I'm not really interested in playing online in tournaments. But it was like to benefit Newton, so that was pretty cool.
Oh, that is dope.
I don't know how it works, but there's like some website called like Matcherino that just gives people money. Like I don't know the logistics of it, but it's like you can get free donations to your tournament by like following 24 Hour Fitness's Twitter or something like that. It's really weird. So like you just follow like some company like 24 Hour Fitness pays this company Matcherino like 25 cents if you follow their Twitter. So like all these people follow the Twitter, like 4 people follow it, there's $1 into the pot.
We got to figure out a way to make money off of that.
Yeah. We need to get an audience first, but we'll put that on the list of to-dos.
Yeah, exactly. Throw it on the pile.
Yeah. But yeah, apparently they got like a couple $100 I heard. I don't know. But that's pretty cool because it comes from nowhere. I mean, it comes from like that website, which basically just comes from nowhere, so that's cool.
Well, yeah, props to all you guys that supported Game Newton, and all you had to do was play a couple of games of Third Strike.
Well, yeah, funny you mentioned that was I heard about the tournament was a huge success. I guess it was It was like capped at like 96 people. I don't even know if that's true. I don't know what the number was, but it's like so it was 3v3 with say 96 people, right? How long do you think that would take in an arcade?
In an arcade, I would say
Double elim.
oh, double limb, Jesus. 2 cabinets.
Yeah, let's say 3 cabinets, but there's one stream set up, so all the big matches have to go on that one.
I guess I don't know. Maybe like give or take 3 hours.
Okay. Guess how long this 5K tournament took?
Oh, geez, I wouldn't even be able to venture a guess.
Well,
I don't know much.
I heard it was more
online.
than 10 hours.
10 hours? Oh my god, dude. Well, I was wondering about that when they announced that. Like, if you're doing 3v3, that's just like 2 guys connect, play 1 match, disconnect, and then the next guy connects, plays a match. Like, dude, that's
no, it's got to take forever. I thought the same thing
cumbersome.
when I saw that. I was like, dude, that's gonna take forever. Like,
yeah,
because it's 3v3. I don't even like. I'm not even sure how you do that. Like, you get the person's name, then you request them, then you play, and then you disconnect. It's just like a huge bunch of crap you have to do every single time.
I wouldn't even be watching my teammates' matches. Like, just tuning in for a single game. Like, fuck it, dude.
Yeah, I mean, logistically, that was a bad decision. I think I posted on Third Strike Junkies that, dude, I've learned from Denjin Arcade tournaments is that team tournaments should never be double elim. I'm gonna say that right now, never.
Oh, no, never.
For two main reasons. One, obviously, the time, dude. It just takes way too long, and it's such a hassle. And two, there's the whole aspect of like upsets is out the window, really.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, how much insurance do you need? Like, it's already a team tournament, so you blow it, you still have your teammates to fucking have your back. Do you really need to play that team all over again when you lose? Like, do you really think you're gonna like come back and beat them 2 times? Maybe, but I don't know, dude. Just fucking lick your wounds.
And then grand finals is super boring too because you have one team and losers. So it's like even if they upset and win one time, it's like, oh, let's do it again.
Oh my god, yeah, it's mind numbing, man. I mean, I don't know. We've spent too much time in Japan, and I know like people like that. They enter a tournament, they want to like have a lot of games that they play to like feel like they have their moment. But dude, you can run a whole nother tournament if you just cut it in half.
Yeah. Basically, it's running 2 tournaments like that. You know what I mean? It's half the tournament with single elim, and it's just way more exciting. Like, there could be this crazy upset that never would happen in double elim. I mean, if you need to run it, there's like other ways. I would say like the Coop style, like round robin, some kind of idea like that. Just to make it shorter and like less repetitive. But I'm a big fan of the Japanese style one game, like go big or go home, dude.
Fucking A.
And weird noise outside. But no, I've had experiences where like I drove all the way to I took a train like all the way to Chiba. It takes like an hour away from Tokyo. And I was like first up in the tournament and I lost and I was done. So it took an hour all the way to get there. 2 minutes later, I'm out. Just the way the cookie crumbles, dude.
Well, you got to look on the bright side, man. Like, then it's beer time.
There we go.
Assuming you're the kind of person that waits until after the tournament to drink.
Yeah. Not us. We're talking about regular people. I'd already be like 4 beers deep, but.
Exactly.
Anyhow. But yeah, 10 hours, dude. That's insane. So props to the organizers on that one, because that'd be really not fun to do online, I think, for 10 hours.
Yeah, I think we should say, like, take a couple steps back. We're not trying to be critical of, the tournament they decided to run. You run the tournament that the participants want to run, and that's great that you guys stuck it through the whole time. And you also raised money for Game Newton. So keep running your double elimination tournaments. That's fucking tight, man. But me and Ryan are fans.
Yeah, I mean it's super awesome. I was just giving my from my experience alone because we've done that at Denjin before where we ran double
Oh
elim
yeah.
team tournaments and it's not even fun at a certain point.
No, it takes for fucking ever.
Yeah, and all the excitement of the tournament is like gone already by the time you get into hour number 8. So
Yeah.
but yeah, probably I think they're gonna do something else again. Yeah, like I'm not really interested in joining, but I'll watch it next time. I totally forgot it was on. I was gonna watch the stream, but I just slipped my mind. So yeah, next time I'll
Yeah.
check it out.
Well, congratulations to whoever won.
Yeah, congrats. All right, let's transition a little bit. Got something I think John wanted to talk about.
Well, this podcast is supposed to usually have a very like jovial, fun mood, but we got to talk about really serious controversy in the Third Strike community, and I think I'm kind of standing up for a segment of the Third Strike community that doesn't get enough coverage. Not many people know, but there is a pretty active speedrun community.
Yeah.
And one of our dear friends, Dusty Walker, in the speedrun community, he's known as Speedball, but to the larger Third Strike community, he's just known as Dusty. He's kind of a bigwig there, and I think you have a graphic that might be relating to this topic. Is that right?
Yeah. So just to go back a little bit more, like I don't know if you can hear the serious music we got going here. This is no joke.
Yeah.
I want to be real here. So Dusty started speedrunning Third Strike, and he's been really into it. Like he's been doing this the whole time we're in quarantine, and he's just really running these events, like not events, but like speed runs every single day, trying to get that top number 1. I guess some guy from like Brazil has the number 1, but Dusty's working on it, you know. And Dusty says it's actually kind of hard because if you think about it, there's a couple things that like mess up your speed run. For example, perfects. When you get a perfect, it takes longer. So you need to get hit sometimes. So
that's a good point.
Kind of interesting. Well, anyways, I was a little upset to see today. Very notable player Justin Wong posted on YouTube that he got the speedrunning world record for Third Strike. Just like that.
Now that sounds credible.
Yeah, right.
Justin Wong is a well-known player. You know, he's had a lot of success in the tournament scene.
And I saw that, and I was like, it's super believable. Like, oh, wow, he's pretty good. So he must have got it. And I was like, wow, crazy. Then, what did we see? We messaged Dusty. I did. And I said, Dusty, Justin already got the world record, like, in one day. And he's like, well, actually, he got the world record on 30th anniversary edition, not the arcade edition. So it's actually different because it's different platforms. So
there we are. Yes.
So basically, what I'm hearing is that Wong is wrong.
I shouldn't be laughing about this, but yeah, Wong is wrong. He's been deceiving his fans. He's been deceiving the Third Strike community. He's been deceiving the speedrunning community. And a lot of people are keeping quiet about it. I hate to, blow Dusty up because Dusty's also a mod in this community. So part of that responsibility is remaining impartial. So, we're guiding this story. This is a breaking story. Not a lot of people know the details of it.
Right.
We're telling you right now, Wong he's corrupting, the integrity of Third Strike speedruns.
Yeah. So
30th anniversary, that's no record is done. No legitimate record is done on 30th anniversary. So you're probably listening to this and thinking, well, what can I do to right this wrong? Right this wrong. So that's why in this graphic, we're trying to get this trending. #Wong is wrong. Fight back against false speedruns. We want this to be blown up on Twitter, blow this up on Instagram. Let everybody know that YouTube video he posted, he's lying, man. It's 30th anniversary. It's not on arcade. Dusty confirmed it to us. He's a mod. He's also number 3 ranked in the world for arcade speedruns. So take it from him.
Yeah. I was just upset that like I saw this YouTube video and I was like, dude, he got it already? And then Dusty's like, nah, dude, it's on 30th. It's different. And I was like, wow, that's really deceiving, and that shouldn't be a thing, I don't want to be baited on YouTube videos. So I told Dusty that he needs to either play 30th himself and beat Justin's record, or we need to get Justin on the arcade platform and do it.
Yeah. Well, we're very sorry, everybody, to have to, kind of tackle such a controversial issue right now. But, some of these bigwigs in the fighting game community, they think they can, just say whatever they want and do whatever they want. And everybody's just going to lap it up and believe what they're saying. But me and Ryan, we don't care. We'll call these guys out. So, like I said, tweet out there, wrong is wrong.
Yeah, let's get him playing serious. Okay, so we're going to transition over from that, but remember the hashtag. Well, we might revisit it again at the end of the show just to remind you guys.
Yep.
So let me just ask you one question, John. Thank you for your notable story there. That was good stuff. Good journalism. I mean, it was investigative journalism on a tight deadline, and we just found out about this like 3 or 4 hours ago, and we created that graphic, produced the music, and wrote the script.
Yeah.
3 or 4 hours.
We take the show really seriously, man, and we were scrambling to try to get the hottest news in the Third Strike community, and this was a breaking story.
Right. So let me ask you first, John. Let's go to our old good visual aid here is the crossing over pick. Where are you at on the scale here?
Oh boy, that's pretty good timing. I'm actually, I think I've hit it right now.
Wow.
Yep. It's all good from here.
Smooth sailing.
Two tall cans. I've got another one on deck. And this right here is maybe 2.5 fingers of scotch and mixed with just dog water.
Oh, nice. Yeah, there was the crossing over image was a big hit amongst the fans.
I'm glad to hear it.
Got a couple DMs on Twitter, a couple chicks telling me how cool it is and how cool we are.
Oh, yeah. Same thing happened to me. I don't have Twitter, but they contacted me on Twitter somehow.
Yeah. But yeah, pretty cool. We're going to keep using our graphics. We have some good ones, so we'll get to
and
them.
I hope you guys will be able to cross over every day of your lives, too. How else are you going to function?
Yeah. I hope you guys are crossing over it soon, too, because it's a fun journey once you reach the goal. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it sucks getting to that bridge, but once you get to the bridge and you start crossing over, it's super fun.
Oh yeah.
I remember one time.
Right now.
One time I was drinking with Louis at like 3 or 4 in the morning, and he was like, "Yeah, dude, I have NFL playoff tickets. Do you want to go? It's free." And I was like, "When is the game?" He's like, "Dude, it's at 1 p.m. We're gonna leave at 9 a.m." I was like, "Dude, it's 4 a.m. right now. Like, this in 5 hours. Don't worry, dude. We're just gonna drink. It'll be fun." All right, I'm down. So like, I remember waking up in like the worst, half drunk, still hungover feeling, going to the NFL game and just crossing over so sick in like the first 20 minutes.
That's dope, dude.
That's my favorite quick crossing over story. Yeah, because I was just pounding him. Like, I felt so bad. So
that's the only way out of that rut, man.
Yep. All right. Last week we ended the topic. Do you remember where I put the bookmark? I remember I asked you to remember the bookmark.
Oh boy, all this drinking makes my memory bad. But I'm gonna take a stab. I want to say it was after SBO Quals, like summer of 2009.
Okay. Yeah, and I was gonna say one thing to you today is like, that we should focus only on American Third Strike and then eventually go back to like our first trips to Japan, because we already passed over my first trip. I don't know if you wanted to do that instead, or
that sounds good.
Okay. Yeah, Dusty, we're doing this chronologically, so we're still in 2009, buddy. So 2009.
Wrestle Kingdom was a good 7 or 8 years later.
Yeah, we got some time before then. So 2009, SBO quals. It was very, very, very cool that Denjin got it. Everyone was juiced.
Yeah.
People flew in from around the country. I don't know if I think maybe Canadians flew in. Searoyd. I don't know if he was there or not. Might have been.
He was there for 2010. I don't know if he was there for 2009.
I see. So 2009, what were the teams? It was like Yi, Pyro, Kenai, right?
Well, we kind of covered that a little bit last week, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I mean, the only two teams that are really worth mentioning, I think, without it turning into a laundry list, would be Yi, Kenai, and Kai, and then the NorCal team, which was Rom, Emphy, and Ricky.
Oh, right. Okay.
And obviously NorCal won, and pretty convincingly.
Oh. Well, I'm so confused. So 2009, NorCal qualified?
Yeah, remember that?
No, I was drunk.
Okay, fair enough. No, I actually remember. I even remember the matches like fairly clearly. I just remember like Ricky being like out of control that year, just constant like low parry, Hake Hayoka-sen constantly. You know, just made Kai look like a bitch.
Yeah, Kai wasn't the sickest Chun. Let's just say that.
Yeah, cool guy, but not really the sickest Chun.
Yeah, and so you didn't go that year, right? Yeah, you didn't go that year. Okay, so I had my years messed up. Yeah, no, 2009 was Gutex was 2008. I want to say.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
So I kind of skipped over that because that was East Coast, and we don't really know what's going on. This is the other side of the world. Might as well have been Japan. So
yeah,
might as well have been England. You know, we didn't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, NorCal won. I bet Yi was super pissed.
Yeah, man. I remember the atmosphere after that. Yi was pretty, deflated, if that word is appropriate. You know, I mean, how else would you feel? I know it wasn't Yi's first rodeo doing SBO quals. He had tried quite a few times before that, and I'm sure that year there was probably a lot of feeling of confidence. But
well, to be honest,
what can you do?
I mean, I don't want to get too into it, but I think those teams have always been scattered. Like the talent gets scattered so much by personal pride or personal beefs or just dumb shit, basically.
Oh yeah.
As you look at that list of players, and it's those 6 people. I mean, obviously, there's like 3 that stand out above the other 3. Maybe 4. There's 4 that are good and 2 that are probably not as good. And as far as the grand scheme of Third Strike and like how much they were taking the game seriously. But I mean, it's whatever. I mean, that's cool that Rom won. Rom was really good at the time. He had beaten Yi at the California Regionals, right?
Oh yeah, and quite convincingly.
Yeah, like Yi had to go back to the drawing board on that one to know how to fight against Yang.
Particularly, I think Seiyanbu was kind of a thing. Like, wow, we haven't really, nobody's really played somebody that knows how to make this work.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even know how it worked at that time, but I remember watching like Yi play Rom, and I just remember like Yi was just trying everything, like just throwing stuff against the wall. Like, does this work? Does this work?
Yeah, exactly.
When we didn't know that the perfect advice would just be, dude, you just got to block it, or you got to eat it as least amount as you can.
Yeah, pretty much.
You don't really beat Seiyanbu. It's like you don't really beat Ganesian either. You just have to stop him from getting it in the corner against you, and then you have to guard really well.
That's one of those things. Like, Yi's kind of like a really good teacher, but like a teacher that's hard to like his advices can be really hard to digest because like when you're a shitty player and you ask questions like, "Wow, what do I do when I'm in the corner against Urian and Aegis is on top of me?" She's like, "Don't let that happen."
Mm-hmm.
But like when you're a fucking shitty player, you're like, "What? I don't get it."
Yeah.
And you find yourself in those situations all the time, like, "Oh, what do I do when I have 10% health and Yun's on his third Ganasian?" Like, dude, don't put yourself in that situation.
Yeah, you can't do anything. You just either you just lost or you get super super lucky.
Yeah, so same thing with Saiyan Boo. Like if you find yourself in that situation, I guess the best advice is block, but like just don't let him activate after he knocks you down with Saiyan Boo. Like just win.
Yeah, I mean
that kind of that advice is hard to like unpackage when you're an experienced player.
Yeah, it's basically like you already got beat when he knocks you down in the corner and he has a full Saiyan Boo to activate. It's like, dude, you already fucked up. So at that point, what do you do against it? Is like you block and pray and you try to get out of the situation with the least amount of damage.
Emphasis on the pray.
Yeah. But I remember just like I didn't know at that time. I had no idea how to play against Young, so I couldn't even understand what was happening. I was just like, yeah, damn, dude, like he's trying everything and nothing's working. And so that was the SBO was after the regionals, right? As far as I remember.
The timeline goes: California regionals was January.
Hey, we got a nice cheers from Dusty.
Oh, all right.
Look at that one. That's the
Bash at the Beach.
That was Hulk Hogan turning heel.
Fuck yeah, that's tight.
So we have two different Twitch alerts. We have our follow with the Stone Cold, and then our something to do with money brings up the New World Order and Hulk Hogan.
I was watching a lot of New World Order videos this week.
Thanks, Dusty.
Anyway, though.
Okay. Anyways.
Yeah, June was SBO qualifiers, and really after that, like there was not a whole lot going on at Denjin during the summer. Like our schedule that year was after SBO quals. It was the next two big events was Evo in July and then SBO in August.
Right.
This is a test bit alert.
Sorry, we got something's going on here. Turning that down. Okay. Dusty's got us twice. Thank you, Dust. All right. Yeah. Okay, continue.
Well, I guess we're gonna come back to Japan stuff, but the Evo that year that was really fun. I believe it was at Rio that year.
Okay, that was the 2v2 year.
It was.
Yeah.
And we were mobbing real deep that year. I can't even remember everybody that was there.
I remember we had a really sick room that year. Like, it was really big with a big CRT. This was back when hotels still had CRTs, so I didn't have to worry about bringing it. And then we had a view of the, like, Las Vegas Strip on, like, the 21st floor. It was super sick.
Oh, it was great. And I think, probably you and me didn't do the short stay. We were probably there for a good 4 or 5 days at least.
Oh, I remember I went Wednesday night. Yeah, we were really excited to go.
I don't know if I did that, but yeah, I was there for quite a while myself.
We had a plan to go on Thursday, and then A-Bomb called me at like midnight. He's like, "Let's just go now, dude." I was like, "We're not gonna be able to check in." He's like, "Well, we'll get there at 5, and then we'll just go to the bar, and then we can check in at noon." And I was like, "I'll pick you up in 20 minutes."
That sounds sick, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, but sadly, we drank so much that I don't know if any memory really stands out. I mean, I do remember the tournament. What was your experience in the 2v2?
Team with Joe Dubs. I wanted a team with Vinny.
That's right.
I wanted a team with Vinny. I thought that would have been the sickest team, but I guess Vinny had committed to Eric Chin like months and months before, which is cool. I don't know. That was in my weird transitional phase of Third Strike where I didn't really know yet if I wanted to keep playing Urian or switch to Chun-Li or switch to somebody else. and I stuck with Urian. Just I didn't play well. It was tough. I think I was like 1 or 2 matches from top 8 though.
That's a drag. That's man. I miss Joe Dubs. I don't know if a lot of people had experience playing him outside of SoCal, but that guy, you can always rely on him to play the exact same way. You know, he doesn't get shook. He's always fucking wild. Good teammate to have.
Only thing that sucked about that time was Joe Dubs was such an arcade rat, you know? Is he was like never
definitely.
He wasn't used to console, and he was like, I could tell he sucked on console. Like he just wasn't good at using the stick, you know? So he wasn't shook, but I think he was just physically limited to how he could perform because he wasn't used to playing with the arcade stick in his lap. So
yeah, that's a good point. He's one of those guys, and there's a lot of guys like that in like the San Fernando Valley area around FFA who like probably played console like 10 minutes their whole life.
Yeah, no training mode, no nothing. They just learned at the arcade, and they figured it out as they went. And
yeah,
the concept of using a stick in their lap was just completely foreign. And I think Joe Dubs got had by that weekend.
Yeah, I don't even, dying breed is probably an exaggeration. That's a dead breed, dude.
Oh yeah,
that still learns only in arcade.
That's a dinosaur. I mean, they're still in Japan though.
Yeah, they're in Japan, that's for sure, but not in America. Yeah. No way.
But yeah, that was that year was crazy because I got really sick the last day. I remember that I got like COVID 09 that year. I remember that. It sucked.
Yeah. Before we jump to that, there's one thing I wanted to mention. I remember that year. Oh God, I felt really bad about it. I had a phase where I played at the UCLA arcade for like about a year, and I got to know the UCLA players who are really, really cool. Like AC Slayer, I got to know him there, and I think I might have been playing against him and his partner, and they should have beat our team, and they paused as their super was coming out. And so we got the win because of that. Oh man.
Bummer.
Fucked up. I know, dude. And it was one of those things where it was like the official or whatever you call that person, you know, like they're like, listen, you don't even have any choice in the matter. Like I'm just saying that they lost. And it's kind of like you tell them like, dude, that sucks, man. Like, I'm sorry. I like, you know, we should play it out again. But inside, you're kind of like, oh, sweet.
Yeah. That happened to me too. I think that year, that guy, remember, he was really cool. He played Q, Mucus.
Yeah, Mucus is cool.
Yeah, Mucus is cool. I think he paused against me that year. And our tournament organizer, whatever the guy was, like, Evo jackass was like, yeah, you can either play it out again or you can take the win. And I was just like, good games, bro. I like walked away, shook his hand and walked away. Like went outside to go smoke a cigarette. But after that, I remember he never talked to me, and like I thought we were cool. So yeah, I was kind of a dick move, but you know what I mean? Like, I guess yeah. Looking back, I should have just replayed it, but I didn't want to replay it and then lose and then be super butthurt. So
yeah,
I wasn't confident in myself at the time. So
yeah. I don't know, man. That's what's fucking whack about console tournaments, dude. You can't pause an arcade.
Yeah, I think the last console tournament I played on, I unhooked my start buttons. I can't even press start.
Yeah, it's a shitty thing, man. I mean, I guess it's cool to get just like a free win like that, but I don't know. What does there really say about it? And plus, those guys that run Evo, like the guys that run those brackets, are just volunteers. What a fucking scam that is! 90% of the people that run the event don't get paid. But
yeah, I mean, we'll get into more next week's Evo theme. So we're gonna be talking more about Evo next week because we're going on the road next week, guys. In case you forgot.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, if it's in Vegas, then we should really get into Evo next week.
Yeah, so, next week's gonna be Evo theme.
Well, we'll leave it at that. Talking about the tournaments at Evo is not really the juicy shit about Evo. So,
Yeah.
I think that's out of the way. Whatever. And that was the last time Third Strike was an official game at Evo. And good riddance. Who cares?
Yeah. So yeah. Anyways, so Denjin, after SBO, we came back and everything. Is that when the rise and the fall happened at Denjin? It rose and then it fell. Was that what you'd say?
See, I've been putting together my own kind of like chronological YouTube series right now, and it's not going to be. It's going to be a really different flavor than what me and Ryan are doing. So I think it's not going to be redundant. But yeah, that's where I pinpointed it. It was probably the end of summer of 2009 where it began the fall. But it was really hard to suss it out right then. Now, okay, one thing we should cover right now is I think definitely there was a high tolerance for just like boozing attention whenever, it didn't matter.
Well, from my memory, I remember going. Like, I've always been a boozer, but I remember going to Denjin like the first few months it was open, and I was the only one drinking. Everyone else was like super down to play, and like run random tournaments and just grinding so hard on the game. And then everyone might drink after like around like 2 or 3. But once like after the SBO, after everything happened, it was like I'd show up to Denjin and everyone was already fucked up. And it was even like hard to get games. Like I remember one time going to Denjin, there was like 6 people there, and I was like playing the computer, and everyone else was just drinking.
Yeah, eventually it was just like the floodgates were open. People just started boozing there like hardcore, and it never stopped.
Yeah,
which was awesome. It was a lot of fun, but it couldn't have been that good for business.
Right. And I remember there was a distinct moment for me where like I went to Denjin. It was like super clean. Everything was on. Everything was nice. There was so many snacks you could buy at the snack bar. To just like half the machines were off. There was like garbage on the ground, trash can full.
Yeah.
No, nothing you could buy at the snack bar. Just
the cooler has like 3 squirts.
Yeah, the whole cooler has 3 squirts and like a half a Gatorade.
I mean, that's probably more like 2010ish, but we were already getting close to that in 2009, and this had like September was 1 year in the Denjin being open, so like it started pretty quickly.
Right. So yeah, they used to still run like tournaments though, right? We saw a couple tournaments every now and then.
Well, what would the way that the rest of 2009 would progress when I was looking into it? First, there was a like 1 year anniversary tournament, and I'm pretty sure you were there for that.
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
Yeah, I think I was looking at a thread for it, and Louis was left a couple of comments. So if Louis was there, I'm sure you were there too.
Oh yeah, I don't think Louis ever went without me.
Yeah, but like when I was reading about it, I didn't remember shit about it either. So it's probably the same for you as for me. I mean, it was just whatever. It was just another Denjin tournament, and then after that, the next big thing was the 1 5-on-5 that we did.
Oh, okay, that was the first time I met Tenren. I remember that.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, Tenren was really good that or weekend, whatever. I don't remember what team that you were on.
I was on Pyro's team. It was the first time I ever teamed with Pyro. I thought I was so sick.
Ah, there you go. Yeah. Yeah, that was a really good team. But in the end, I think it was Yi's team that won, and Yi didn't have to play because like Tenren and James were really sick that weekend.
Yeah. Tenren beat Pyro. Super good. I think I might have lost to James. I don't know. But I know that it was like I was in shock. I was like, dude, I'm finally going to win it. Like at that point, I'd never won a tournament. So I was like, sick, I'm finally going to win a tournament because I'm on Pyro's team. Nope.
Yeah. Yeah, Pyro doesn't win them all, and I guess we kind of glossed over this. Pyro had not been playing for like a year.
Oh yeah, he took a year off, so that's why he wasn't at that SBO calls, right?
Yeah, he had only come back like maybe a month or 2 months before this tournament. I mean, he was still good, still really, really good. But yeah, he just kind of showed up out of nowhere one day.
Right. Why did he take time off? Or he just does that, right?
Well, I think that was the first time since Third Strike had started that he took time off. And
oh, I remember. I remember now. Do you remember?
No.
Oh, okay. So this was the first year I went to Japan was 2008, and after they lost in 2008, Pyro's team, which was Pyro, Kenai, and Ricky, I want to say. Sounds about right. They lost to
right.
Keeper. They just got owned by Keeper, and I remember Pyro coming back and just saying like, "Dude, it's not worth it, man. Like, I can't just play in America against family fun people and then go to Japan once a year and just get owned. You know, like I need to play with those guys more often, and I don't want to play anymore because of that. That's what I remember it as.
That sounds right. Yeah. And
he was just deflated like a balloon, dude. You just let the air out of it when he came back from Japan the last time.
Yeah, it's really, really, it takes a lot to really get the grind going when you're stuck in America. I mean, people have done it. I would definitely bring up like Yuki has done so much with not having constant access to Japanese competition. So it's possible, but generally speaking, that's really, really hard, man. And that could even get to a player as talented as Pyro.
Yeah, and I think it's also just like a lot of people, like Gutex was like so happy that they like beat one guy. Oh, thank you, player WM86 for the follow. Drink a beer. I'm gonna have to change the volume on that. Hold on a second. It's a little loud.
Yeah, fucking cool though.
Super cool, but yeah, like some people like Gutex. I remember Gutex qualified for SBO, goes to SBO, beats one guy, and they lose or whatever, and he came back like he fucking won like the gold medal. You know, he was so happy going out in the first round. You know, or even the second round. I don't remember if Gutex they made it to the second round. I think they did. But like a lot of people were just happy just to go. But Pyro had been like 20 times, so he was like, dude, I don't like just going and losing.
Well, plus, think back. I mean, one thing I think is so funny about Pyro is like he loves bragging about his own accomplishments. And he'll never miss the opportunity to remind people of like when he was what, in top 8?
No, he was one match away from making the top.
Oh, that's right. But he did really, really good.
Yeah.
And I would imagine like that great performance that year, and then going back to just scraping through and not getting through the first round.
Not even getting past the first guy, you know.
Oh, I know. So it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But either way, he eventually came back, and so that was really cool. And I thought it brought some new life to the Denjin scene because Pyro's very energetic and eccentric guy, and he's fun to play with.
Yeah, and he really makes people take the game to the next level, their next level, you know. So everyone loves a really sick player that would play with you. You know what I mean? You could play against some like random Yun, and you might play okay. But if you play against Pyro, you're going to play much better too. So it just elevates the level in general.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really hard to not have those kind of people in your scene if you're trying to improve yourself. Right. Just one or two guys that are like fucking really top tier players. It really helps everybody else so much.
Yeah. So yeah, at that point, I remember I was going to Denjin. I remember I was like on unemployment, so I was getting money like from the government, and like I was looking for jobs but not finding anything because this was like recession time in America. And I remember just going to Denjin, like leaving on Friday at noon, checking at a hotel at 2 p.m., and then taking a nap until 5, and then going to drink and play until Sunday night at midnight.
Yeah. What's better than that?
Yeah, it was super fun. And that hotel at that time, like I swear, like hotels used to be really cheap. I used to spend like $50 for like 2 nights.
Yeah. Simi Valley is not like a tourist destination, so they have to be pretty competitively priced. And Grand Vista is not like a bad hotel.
It's really nice, actually.
Yeah, it's quite nice. But I don't know what reason you would go to Simi Valley for unless you're visiting family. So it's never going to be at max capacity. So they have to make it worth your bucks to actually go there.
Yeah, Simi Valley is not exactly known for much besides Ronald Reagan, right?
That's right. Yeah, just down the street from Denjin Arcade is the Ronald Reagan Presidential Library.
Yeah, born and raised.
Yeah, so
Simi
if you want to
Valley,
go
California.
to like the Republican, presidential debate or whatever, you're sorted if you live in Simi Valley. But other than that, there's not a whole lot to do there.
Right. So are we gonna get? Do you want to talk like now going into more like the downfall of Denjin, like when it was just at its worst, or is there something else to talk about?
Well, I think the last kind of punctuation mark on the good times at Denjin would have been Sunroute Cup with MOV there.
Okay,
so
yeah, okay, let's talk about that. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't remember exactly how it started, man, but somewhere along the line, I don't know whose idea it was, but the idea was to bring some Japanese players over, and it was supposed to be one for Third Strike and one for Street Fighter 4. And I think at that point we really knew, California Regionals wasn't going to happen again. It was kind of a replacement for NorCal Regionals, but NorCal Regionals was back on. So had to do something that was going to be a little bit original. And the lead up to that, too, was the second season of Ranking Battles would be like a fundraiser to get those guys to come over. And I think the decision was finally made that we were going to bring over MOB and Momochi.
Yeah. If I remember correctly, I think we were talking about how we needed to get. I don't know if it was me and Bean and you and Yi were like drinking and we're talking about like we need to get somebody to come from Japan. Like I guess because Street Fighter 4 players started doing that for the big tournaments. That's what my memory was. That there was like randomly like Daigo would come to like a tournament, or Momochi would come. Like, dude, we should get someone to come. I don't know if that's right or not. It could be just my drunken memory filling in the blanks. But
sounds right enough to me.
And I remember at the time I was in Japan, on and off, visiting my ex-girlfriend at the time, taking care of business over there, and we were talking like, who should we get? And it was like, okay, it'd be so cool if we can get a Third Strike player and then a Street Fighter 4 player who can also play Third Strike.
Oh, yeah. That was definitely the thinking from Jump Street.
So at that time, I don't think MOV was known at all for Street Fighter 4, but he became good at it later, but I don't think he was even like into it at all yet at that point.
No, not
really. And Momochi was like, yeah, of course, Third Strike, really good player, and then he was like the best 4 player, so it's like, okay, sick. So I remember I asked MOV face to face at Mikado. I was like, hey, if we pay for your plane ticket, can you come to LA and play in the tournament? And can you ask Momochi? And he was like, let me talk to Momochi. And then it was like, okay, sick, he's down, and they're both down. So yeah, we had a ranking battle circuit to raise money, right? Half the pot to the plane tickets.
Yeah. Like one of the things I remember Yi emphasizing in the thread for the tournament, and it's really true. Is this was like totally like a community effort. I don't think there was any investment in the tournament even from Denjin itself. Like we ran the ranking battles. We took 50% of the entrance fees to go towards the airplane tickets, and then the amount that we came up short, we just threw in our own money to get them to come over. It was a huge community effort, and there were no sponsors at all. No fucking sponsors. So.
Did you put in money?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't put in a lot. I think the lion's share was probably for me, but there was a lot of people that put in money.
Bagrat put in money too, right?
I'm not sure about that. He might have.
No.
But yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. I can't go back and account for exactly how it all added up, but it was it's nickel and diming, I guess. It was tough to put together. You know,
it was somebody really hard because plane tickets to Japan are not cheap, and even to LA, which is probably the cheapest you can get from Japan to the States, it's still at least $600-700. So
yeah, without a doubt. And then you have to add in like where's the motherfucker going to stay, dude? You know, are we going to pay for his food or not? Like I don't even know how those details got worked out. I think he and James mostly worked all that out. But there was something. I think this is kind of characteristic of a lot of tournaments that were run at Denjin. I mean, this kind of shit happens with tournaments just in general, and I think it kind of parallels with like pro wrestling. There's a great pro wrestling documentary called Cards Subject to Change, which is, just like their warning, maybe the matches that are advertised are not going to actually happen. So definitely card was subject to change with Sun Route Cup. In the end, Momochi, even though we announced that he was going to come, didn't end up coming, which was a huge bummer.
Yeah. Details are still vague to this day. Nobody really knows. I don't know what happened. All I know is that I got a text message like the 2 days before I was supposed to drive up to Denjin, and the day MOV was coming. Like, dude, Momochi's not coming.
Yeah.
And which is really, I mean, I don't know the story. I don't know what happened, but it sucks, man. Like, if people are gonna like pay for you to come out, like I would go no matter what, even if like there'd have to be something super extraordinary for me to just not go. So
yeah,
I think it's kind of messed up, but I don't know the story, so whatever.
What I saw in the thread recently was maybe it has something to do with this work schedule. So this is this took place 9.5 years ago now. So, or no, 10.5 years ago. So who really knows exactly? It's hard for us to even speculate about it. But it was, I would imagine, probably a big disappointment to the Street Fighter 4 players. But I gotta say, well, me and Ryan never really gave a shit about Street Fighter 4, even though I was involved in like running brackets for Sun Route Cup. I think I showed up at like 6 or 7 in the evening for the last day, which was the Street Fighter 4 day. But credit to those guys, dude. They made the best out of a bad situation. Like, a lot of people actually showed up for it. So it was, I don't know, no use crying over spilled milk. People actually were pretty cool about it, even though it was kind of a fumble.
Yeah. That's cool. I mean, I was still upset. Like, just like, dude, what's happened? Like, there should have been at least a week, I would hope. Something would have had to have been more than a day before. So that was unfortunate because we tried so hard, and we put all this time.
It was a drag, man. Yeah, it was a drag.
And to this day, I don't really know what happened, but it's whatever. We had a good time. I really didn't care because I didn't play for us. It didn't bother me, but that was the principle,
Yeah. But I am really happy. I don't know if we made it known, but like it must have been at least obvious if we didn't announce it that obviously MOV wasn't there just for the weekend. Like he was there for like a week or something. So a lot of guys came a lot earlier, and they, were at Denjin all week and playing games with MOV and learning a lot. And that was the thing I was really happy about because, like I said, 10 and a half years ago, we were just douchebags in our early 20s, and not everybody had the extra cash to make the yearly trip to Tokyo. So this was their best chance to play with, one of the legends of the game. So I was glad to give people that opportunity.
Yeah, I remember that was the first year I met quite a few people, especially like Nika. I seen him online a lot. Finally got to meet him. He came out. Some other East Coasters came out, so that was cool.
Yeah, I mean, one thing I really noticed, and to me, this is a compliment I would only pay a couple of people, is Nika's really a student of the game, and he was there, just like absorbing as much as he could from MOV. He really got the most out of it. So I wish I had that kind of dedication to the game instead of just sitting in the fucking alleyway drinking and smoking.
Yeah, I mean, he came there with like full intention of just soaking up everything like a sponge.
Yeah, exactly. Hopefully that kind of contributed to the player that he is today. But yeah, I mean, from a Third Strike perspective, that event was a big success, and I'm glad that the Street Fighter 4 players made the best out of a bad situation.
Yeah, that was a good time. But yeah, that's really, I remember, like, that must have been the peak then, I would say.
Yeah, wherever you would define the decline of Denjin Arcade, the latest it would have been was right after Sun Route Cup. So is sometime between like summer of 2009 and after Sun Route Cup is when it was, without question, things were going bad. But I think we might have to save the start of that for our cast next week.
Yeah, I mean, I've made this visual aid for Denjin 3 weeks ago, and I'm just dying to use it. We haven't got to the point I can use it yet. Eating me up inside.
I'd like to dig into the next part, but I don't want to run too long. And it's the next part of the story is, I mean, there's still good memories, but it's sad to think of what Denjin eventually turned into.
Yeah. I'm still, like, you're gonna have to let me know a lot what's going on, because I wasn't there. I mean, I'm 200 miles away from there, so I was kind of.
Well, I think we need to do a little bit of prep before we go to the next bit, because there's not as many like bullet point events like Sun Route or California Regionals. The rest of it all kind of is murky and it blends together because there wasn't a whole lot going on. Hence, this being kind of like the downturn of Denjin Arcade. So, I think we'll get to that next time, and it's going to be kind of a hard one to go through because, like I said, for me, the memories mixed together. The chronology is a little bit harder to suss out, but there's bits and pieces there, and we can, follow it down the rabbit hole until the bitter end of Denjin.
Yeah, I mean, and then we still got a lot to talk about after Denjin, so.
Yeah, Denjin was just one thing. There was plenty of other game centers. Me and Ryan's time in Tokyo. So there's plenty more, kids. So make sure that you're subscribed to this channel, and make sure you check us out next week.
Yeah. And before we finish, we have a couple, just to talk about the YouTube comments. I mean, I want to make this a regular thing we can always do.
Absolutely.
Let me pull that up real fast. Yeah, for anyone that doesn't know, is every week we'll look at the YouTube comments from the video, because these videos are all going to go to YouTube, and you can post whatever comment, question, critique, insult, whatever you guys want to post. No insults yet, but we're waiting for our first one.
Yeah, that's what I want.
Yeah. But I don't want it to be anonymous. You have to put your name as an insult. Be real about it. Okay. So, first comment, Mark Crossland. Hey, you need higher audio out on your mics if possible.
Everybody's a critic, aren't they? This is It's not a professional operation here. If you want better audio and visual, then we welcome donations. I mean, I love you, Mark, but we're on a shoestring budget here.
No, well, I told JP that he needs to get a microphone, and that's going to cost him 700 yen, but he's on it. He's working on it.
Yeah, well, I'm going to tell my girlfriend later to buy it for me, so we'll, hopefully next week.
Yeah, it'd be cool. But thank you, Mark, for your comment. I replied with, yes, John has issues and needs a mic. Your feedback is appreciated. Next comment, also from Mark Crossland. Oscar Wilde knows what's up.
Yeah, damn right, yeah. I think we've probably got a lot more Oscar Wilde quotes that are relevant to Denjin and Third Strike, but, they'll come along when it's pertinent to the story.
Right. I just put it up again in case you guys missed it. Very inspirational Oscar Wilde quotes. For those who don't know, Oscar Wilde is just quoted, like, probably one of the most quoted persons of all time.
Yeah. One of the most quoted Third Strike players, too.
As well, yeah. Not many people know that. And, he was around quite a long time ago, but somehow he had to, he learned how to love Third Strike. Don't ask me how, but he did it. And
we're not historians, but it's true.
Yep. And I replied to Mark, he has a sick Oro, because couldn't you see him playing Oro? Because I could.
Oh, yeah, I think so. Just the look on his face.
Yeah. I was going to say Remy, but, he would know that Remy's not strong enough, so.
Yeah, no, Oscar Wilde was a smart guy.
He's a little bit, of a weaker character, but still, that one arm, kind of, jaded. I can still do it, I don't know.
Oh, yeah. He would OCD someone in Toge.
Yep. But yeah, that's about it. Remind you guys, next week, it's going to be a show on the road. So we're taking this show on the road next week to Las Vegas, Nevada, a.k.a. Sin City, a.k.a. Nate Dogg's hometown.
That's right. It might be on a different day. I still got to talk to Ryan about that because I'm finally going back to work. But either way, you can still catch it on YouTube at your leisure.
All right. You're going back to work. That sucks.
It does suck, yeah. But oh well. We're still drinking today.
Yeah. And you're drinking tomorrow, too, after. You'll cross over at night.
Goddamn right, yeah.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Dusty, by the way, this is not water. This is high-quality LaCroix.
All right, boys. Peace out, and we'll see you when we see you.
See ya. Later.